Hey everybody, before we get into our 10-minute review of Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, just want to tell you about our sponsor. It's a movie called Sir John A. and the Curse of the Anti-Quenched. You can check it out on iTunes, Amazon, or wherever you get your movies. All right, we're going to jump into our 10-minute review of Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. We had to do it via Skype, but it's still going to be okay. And I'm hitting the timer now. All right, Matt, what did you think of Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse?
I really liked it, actually. Surprisingly, really liked it. I didn't think I was gonna. The biggest gripe I had when I saw the trailer, I was like, I don't think I'm into the animation.
Okay.
Like it looks like just the choppiness Lego movie type of kind of. But you kind of get used to it.
Yeah, I thought
used to it really fast.
flowed well, and I thought they were pretty respectful of like certain things, some of the freeze frame stuff they do, or even like there's some classic like sort of Spider-Man moments that they sort of homage kind of quickly.
Oh yeah.
You know, like him behind the desk, or if you stay till after the credits, there's some pointing going on.
I mean, they definitely know their source material and making fun of kind of all the iterations that we've seen of Spider-Man throughout the years.
I like
which
that
is
too.
a lot of fun.
All right, we're gonna do this for the last time, and then tell you the Spider-Man origin story for that
Yeah.
particular Spider-Man.
I will say that the biggest gripes about the movie are one, not enough of Spider-Man Noir, Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir. I want more of that.
I wanted to.
More of him. Actually, I hope if they ever make another one, make us just that.
Just Spider-Man Noir.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be a really
great.
cool.
I really enjoyed how it took like darker turns. There's like murder and stuff in this, which I wasn't expecting, which was really fantastic.
Yeah.
I really love the art of it. I really like the aspect that it's like a living comic book, which was fantastic the way they did that.
Yeah.
The biggest gripes I had about it was the ending felt a little kind of all over the place because of the visuals. You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, just like the dimensions kind of flowing into each other.
Oh, God, yeah. I didn't see it in 3D though, so I have a feeling in 3D might actually look even better.
It did. Real D 3D is what I saw it in, and normally I don't like 3D, but for animation, it's pretty good. But
yeah,
it made it pretty trippy. Like I thought they solved like I don't know, a hard problem, because like how do you deal with a multiverse kind of happening under New York in this kind of small tube area? How do we expand it? And then like how do we make it interesting for spider men and women and pigs to fight in this area? Well, let's introduce more geometry for them to swing on and then fight with. I thought maybe that's what their thinking was behind it.
Yeah, it kind of got a little too much near the end. That's the biggest gripe about it. I thought the narrative and the story itself is extremely strong on this movie. It was very, very good. Like I was gripped the whole way through. I loved the narrative that they did. Was really, really well done. And I don't even know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I found like Jake Johnson did a really good job as Spider-Man. Like all I can see is him from New Girl.
Yeah.
But as soon as you see him as like, I guess hear him as Spider-Man, it worked.
It worked really well. Yeah. Shamik Moore, who played Miles Morales too, like hardcore Spider-Man fans obviously know the Miles Morales story, and if you've been playing the Spider-Man game too, you get to know that. I thought like that they played it well. I liked all the storylines with his father and his uncle. As soon as I saw his uncle, I'm like, oh, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He's gonna be a bad guy. Bad guy, bad guy.
He was played by I forget. I never know how to say his first name, but Mahir Shala Ali, which I love that guy. He was great in Luke Cage, the villain in Luke Cage there, Cottonmouth.
Yeah, and then he was in was that the movie they won the Oscar for, Moonlight, right?
Right. But I don't know. There's something about that guy. It's like
he's great.
Charming, but both evil. I don't know. He plays it well.
Yeah, he can play both sides, eh? Like the evil
weird
or somebody, just like
very
your friend.
good. Yeah, so I really love the movie. I really love the way it plays on tropes. It plays on cliches where you're thinking one thing, all of a sudden it's flipping up on the other for comedic like for comedic reasons, or just for the story wise. I thought that was really well done. Like for example, spoiler, the part where he's running with the monitor and the computer. Thinking to myself, like, why is he running with the monitor? That's just stupid. And then, like, Spider-Man comes out like, oh, yeah, good news and bad news. Like, good news, you don't need this monitor, right? Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, at least they address it. I love that. I love the fact that they address, like, the world sometimes. Things aren't working. They're making fun of themselves. They're making fun of cliches that happen all the time.
I do like the, too, and, like, I'm going to steal a bagel, and then as he's going through, he's like, Eddie stole a bagel!
Apparently I missed it, but my friend when we went to see it, he when he throws the bagel and hits the guy, there's actually a little thing that says bagel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's the sound that it makes is bagel.
Like they say it out loud, or do they?
No, well, like in this movie, it's very comic booky, so all the sounds are also done like I forget the word, but when it's written,
onomatopoeia.
Right. That's what you see is just a tiny little thing that says bagel. Apparently.
Yeah, okay, because they did do a lot of like Bang and Biff and stuff, sort of reminiscent of Batman, but yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I definitely want to see, to me, biggest thing about this movie is I want to see more Nick Cage punching Nazis.
That was pretty good, and I liked him taking the Rubik's Cube too, because like he sees in black and white as well.
Yeah, he can't see color.
Which I thought was awesome. Another thing I want to point out, like, so Wilson Fisk, sort of the baddie of the film, I like that his motivation is pretty, like, it's a bad person, like a bad guy motivation, but it's like you sort of believe it, and sometimes you find
they don't make it a sad story where you want to feel sorry for him. You're just like, I get it.
Yeah, like
I get why he's doing it. I mean, he's a bad guy. He's a bad dude, and I like that he's a bad dude. They don't try to redeem him whatsoever.
No, and
which is very good. And
I
love
the way he's drawn.
Right?
I love the way he's drawn.
Yes, that's exactly. He's very classic comic book.
Yeah.
Fisk, like extremely huge. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a joke when you see the pictures of him and his family where he's like crouching down just to like fit the frame. That's great.
Another thing I enjoyed is the doctor, who you don't know who she is, and then when she takes off the coat, I fully didn't see that coming. As her as
from
Doc
Trelawney, from Professor Trelawney from Harry Potter,
right?
To
that's
Doc Ock female.
That's how they got you. You're like, oh,
right?
She's Professor Trelawney. What's going on here? It's played by Catherine.
Another cliche trope that they hit on is like when he does the plan, right? Peter Parker is like, and then I sneak up on the scientist. Actually, the scientist is this woman. Okay, all right. Because you're imagining, a man, but it's like, no, actually, it's this woman right here. I don't know. It's just things like that. I love that. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was. I did not think. I thought I was gonna like it, but I didn't think I was gonna love it.
Yeah, and I for sure loved it. I think they do funny things too with the USB stick being called the goober all the time.
The goober.
Just the plot device. We just need to get this thing to the thing, and then I just sort of figure it out when I'm there. But
I thought it was a really well developed story. Really strong characters, really strong actors. The animation was fantastic. Apart from at least I had to get used to it, and then the ending was a little kind of, to me, a little too much. But I went to see it with a friend of mine who's not a big fan of Spider-Man, and then after he saw Homecoming and this movie, he's kind of changed his mind.
Yeah.
But he went to see it in 3D the other night, and he says, like, if you're gonna go see it, you should probably go see it in 3D. And I'm not an advocate for 3D. I don't like watching things in 3D, but I think this movie is recommended for it. Not that it makes it better, but it makes it probably like a better experience, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Just with animation, because they control it more in the animation. I would say 100% go see this movie. In a theater. It's worth it. It's it's a lot of fun. Bring kids. Like it's maybe
not too young of kids.
But
there is murder.
Whatever. If they can handle most Marvel movies, they'll be fine. I think it's good. I think it's good comic book storytelling, and I think it's important that maybe some comic book movies or Star Wars or whatever, they should be animation instead of live action, and just use the genre of animation to tell a better story that you can't tell live action.
Sometimes things don't work in live action that I could see it working in animation, and this is one of the cases where I don't think it would have worked as well in live action.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, and even though we see Spider-Man doing well, and we are at the end of their 10 minutes.
Well, finish your thought.
No, I just reiterating the fact that just animation was the way to go for this story. It wouldn't have worked.
Gotcha.
Even though we've seen Spider-Man in the cinematic universe sort of recently, but yeah, I hope they make another one. I would love to see more of Miles Morales sort of growing up, maybe having to fight Doc Ock again, or
to me, screw a sequel to this. I want its own one-off story of Spider-Man Noir, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening, guys, and have a happy holiday.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Lost Commentary, on Instagram at Raiders of the Lost Commentary, and like us on Facebook.
I'll be back.